Archangel Michael says, "Dear child, listen closely. You are not without resources, your hands are not empty. The blessings you seek have not vanished. What you perceive as poverty does not belong to you. The misfortunes you face are not your fate. The scarcity you have been conditioned to accept was never meant for you. My beloved, hear me again, the silence you have endured was a divine strategy. The delays you experienced were not denials, but rather a preparation for greater revelations. You are not forgotten, you are not abandoned. And let me emphasize this, you are not broke. Your financial resources have been concealed by someone close to you, a relative who has feigned support while secretly plotting against your prosperity. They believed you would remain oblivious, that you would continue to search for a breakthrough that was already destined for you. The adversary did not come with overt threats, but rather with familiar faces and gentle smiles. They sat at your table, gained your trust, and when you weren't looking, they diverted the blessings meant to transform your life. You may have wondered why every opportunity seems to vanish at the last moment, why your efforts crumble into dust, and why doors that appeared to open suddenly slam shut. This was not mere chance. It was not a curse from the universe. It was manipulation disguised as kindness, theft cloaked in false affection. A jealous hand moved when you were most vulnerable, but heaven has witnessed it all. The records have been opened, and your heartfelt cries have resonated in the courts of glory. What was hidden is about to be revealed. Your bank account may appear empty, but your heavenly storehouse is overflowing. You may have lost your job, but your destiny remains intact. People may have walked away, but the angels have never left your side. For too long you believed you were simply unlucky. You doubted your spirituality, your faith, your strength. But no more. The time has come to unveil what was done in secret, to confront what was buried. You are not imagining it, that stirring in your spirit, that sudden awakening in the night, that nagging feeling that someone has been working against you. It is real. You are not paranoid, you are prophetic. A spiritual transaction is unfolding, and names are being called in heaven. They said you wouldn't succeed. They whispered that you were weak and mocked your tears. But your tears have watered the seeds of justice, and your groans have become thunder in the heavens. Your pain has become a petition before the throne, and your angels have been dispatched. They thought your silence indicated ignorance, that your patience was foolishness. They did not realize who your Father is. While they plotted, the Creator of the stars was recording every move. They did not see the sword of justice drawn in the Spirit, nor did they hear the pages turning in the book of remembrance. You have cried long enough, questioned long enough, and now the answer is here. Not as an apology from man, but as restoration from heaven. What was hidden will be exposed. What was stolen will be returned. What was cursed will be blessed sevenfold. And it begins with this revelation: you are not broke. Your money was hidden by a jealous relative. They manipulated documents, diverted calls, forged signatures, and spoke ill of you to make you seem undeserving. They laughed at your struggles and celebrated your setbacks. But they will witness your resurrection. They will tremble at your rise. They will be astounded by the speed at which heaven repays you. This is not merely about finances. It is about your identity, your dignity, and your purpose. They did not just touch your money. They attempted to undermine your mind. They hoped you would doubt yourself, curse yourself, and collapse inwardly. But heaven has intercepted their plans. There is a secret inheritance with your name on it. There is property that was blocked from reaching you, accounts that were halted, and paperwork that was delayed. Hands have tampered with what heaven had marked for you. But now the fire of truth is exposing every hidden detail. The fingerprints are being revealed, the chains are breaking, and the blessings will flow again. You have done everything right. You prayed, you gave, you forgave, you worked, and you trusted. Yet it felt like nothing was working. That was not your fault, it was interference. Heaven is no longer silent. The silence of God is not the absence of justice, it is the preparation for it. Now the trumpet has sounded, and the alarms have gone off in the spirit. The verdict has been released. Your pain is ending, your delay is over, and your inheritance is awakening. Your money is being loosed, the locks are breaking, and the chains are falling. The one who tried to hold it back is now being confronted by the hosts of heaven. Angels are standing at the gates of your destiny, walking into banks, standing in courtrooms, and whispering to decision makers. They are moving files and shifting people out of positions that blocked you. Yes, it is happening now. They said you were poor, but they did not know you were merely paused. They said you were finished, but they did not see that God was setting the stage. You are not like them, you are chosen. The road you walk has required pain, because your crown is heavy. But now the heaviness is lifting, and the breakthrough begins. You have waited and wondered if you should settle. You have thought about lowering your standards, changing your values, or giving up on your dreams. But don't you dare. The moment you were about to let go is the moment heaven began to move. You are closer than you think, closer than you have ever been. The enemy's last move was desperation. Their attempt to block your blessing was their final act, and it has failed. Listen closely, my child. That family member who smiled when you stumbled, who asked strange questions, who offered backhanded compliments. Yes, the one who seemed most interested in your finances while pretending not to care. They were involved. They stood between you and your breakthrough. But they did not realize they were touching what was consecrated, handling what was holy, and tampering with destiny. Now they are being removed from their position of control. The manipulation behind your back is exposed, and the alliances formed to speak ill of you are dissolved. You will begin to see people distance themselves from you, not because they don't love you, but because they are being removed for divine reasons. Trust the shift, trust the silence, and trust the separation. You are not losing people, you are shedding weights. Your season of reclaiming has arrived. This is more than just a message, it is a spiritual decree. The atmosphere around you is shifting. You may feel emotional, heavy, or even cry as you read this. That is not random. It is your spirit recognizing truth, your soul awakening, and your mind realizing the war is over. The miracle you have been waiting for is now being released, but it will come in an unexpected way. You will not have to beg for it or chase it. It will arrive because it was always yours. It will come not through man's approval but through divine orchestration. Expect strange favor, rapid turnarounds, phone calls that change everything, and surprises wrapped in justice. You are not broke, your money was hidden, and now that it is found, your life will never be the same. You will no longer have to explain why you are behind on bills. You will no longer need to borrow what you were born to own. You will no longer suffer in silence while others prosper by stealing your portion. No more. The door is opening, the light is returning, and laughter will fill your home again. Your sleep will be deep, your joy will be loud, and your hands will touch what was once only in your prayers. Your voice will speak from victory, not despair, and every person who plotted against you will watch from a distance as heaven exalts you publicly. They will not be able to stop it, explain it, or access it. What is coming to you is sealed with divine approval. What is being released now has been validated by the tears you cried in secret. This is not just recovery, it is divine compensation. Double for your trouble, restoration with interest. Do not be afraid. Do not shrink back. Do not second guess the shift you are feeling. It is real, it is now, and it is unstoppable. You are rising, recovering, and re-entering the season that was stolen from you. So, I say to you, not with human opinion, but with divine certainty, God says you are not broke. Your money was hidden by a jealous relative, and now it is time to reclaim it. Watch what happens next. Don't tell everyone, just prepare. Make room, clean your house, revisit your dreams, reopen your business plans, answer the call, sign the documents, and say yes to the unfamiliar. Your hands are about to touch what your heart has only whispered. It is done. It is time. It is yours. This message is for you. Someone has tried to hide what belongs to you, but heaven is no longer silent. The wind has shifted, and the silence you have endured is being shattered by a divine voice calling your name. For too long, you have carried the weight of unanswered questions. Why the money you were promised never came. Why your efforts bore no fruit. Why doors that should have opened slammed shut. And why your name was quietly removed from the list of blessings that others seemed to receive. But now, something is being exposed, and it is no longer your burden to carry. Light is being sent directly to your house, your situation, your bank account, and your lineage. Open this with your spirit trembling, for what I am about to reveal is what they never wanted you to know. This message is for you, and it concerns something you were never meant to discover. There was a moment when you trusted a certain voice, someone close, someone within your bloodline, someone who smiled in your face but turned their heart away from your future. This person did not celebrate when God spoke over your life. They were present when favor tried to descend, but refused to let it reach you. They used their words to deflect your miracles, covering your harvest with a veil of delay and confusion. Now that the time of unveiling has come, the skies above you are opening with thunder and clarity. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not unlucky. You are not invisible to heaven. Something happened to your money, your name, and your spirit. It was taken from you and hidden in the house of jealousy, buried under betrayal, and watered by the prayers of someone who pretended to want the best for you, but secretly wished for your doors to close. You have walked through life feeling the emptiness in your hands, but God marked your name for abundance from the beginning. The reason it hasn't arrived is not that you are unworthy, but because a jealous relative blocked what was meant for you. Now it is being returned. This message is for you. Let your heart receive it without fear. Understand that this revelation is not meant to break you, but to set you free. There was a day when the money that belonged to you was redirected, withheld by someone who knew that if you rose, they would fall behind. They understood that if you stepped into the season God had for you, their lies would be exposed. So they interfered, interrupted, sabotaged, manipulated conversations, distorted truths, and tied your name to silence. This person is not a stranger. They have shared meals with you, laughed at your struggles behind your back, and still, God watched it all, storing justice like fire in his hands, waiting for the appointed time to release it. You are not broke. Your money was hidden by a jealous relative. This is not just about finances. It is about freedom, inheritance, and the pain you never articulated. It is about the feeling of being overlooked, cheated, and quietly displaced from your own life's narrative. But what they did not understand is that heaven keeps records. Even when people erase your name from earthly documents, They cannot erase God's command concerning you. Now your spirit is being summoned back to the throne of restoration. This is your season of returning. This is your time of reawakening. Everything that was placed in hiding is now being summoned into the light. This message is for you, and it is sacred. Do not doubt it. Do not explain it away. Do not second guess the signs that have been trying to speak to you. The dreams you have had, the strange coincidences, the sense that something is moving in the spirit. It is all connected to this. You have ancestors who have wept in God's presence, asking for this truth to be revealed to you. You have angels who have stood at the gates of your bloodline, waiting for this specific moment to carry justice like a river to your feet. The hour has come, the veil is being torn, and the buried treasure is being unearthed. Your name is being whispered in holy places again. Someone has whispered against you in secret, unable to comprehend why God loves you so deeply. They could not understand why you kept surviving what should have destroyed you. In their fear they acted, taking what was not theirs to take. But the law of heaven is justice, and it is time for recompense. It is time for reversal, for the stolen years, the stolen peace, the stolen opportunities, and yes, the stolen money to return to you with interest. The spiritual banks that have held your increase hostage are now being commanded to release it. The chains are falling. The vaults are opening. What they tried to bury is rising. This message is for you. You have wondered, even secretly, if you were the problem. You thought maybe you were not chosen, or that you were under some strange fate. But no, what happened to you was intentional, not by God, but by someone who envied your calling. And God is responding, not with anger, but with restoration. You will see things change now. Even those who never respected your voice will suddenly be drawn to you. New opportunities will arise from unexpected places. The money that was rerouted will begin to reappear, not as it left, but multiplied. And when it comes, remember this moment. Remember the silence before the shift. How it felt to be overlooked and pushed aside. Not to hold bitterness, but to remain humble in your abundance. You are not being restored for revenge, but for purpose. You are not being lifted to humiliate those who buried you, but to glorify the God who refused to let your story end in silence. This is holy. This is divine. This is your recovery. Open your hands, loosen your grip on the pain. Your destiny is returning. Your name is being written again in the language of favor. This message is for you. The tears you cried were not in vain. Someone watched you cry and laughed. They saw you try again and again, whispering that you would never succeed. But they forgot one thing: God had already spoken over your life. Now that word is awakening every hidden blessing, every locked account, every spiritual vault. You will receive news in the coming days that will confirm this. A door will open, a conversation will shift, and a withheld opportunity will return. Pay attention. It may not look exactly like what was stolen, but it will carry the same worth, the same value, the same spiritual weight. They tried to break your faith. They tried to convince others that you were a failure. But now your story is becoming evidence that no human interference can cancel a divine assignment. This is a message from the deepest places of heaven. This is the part of your story they never wanted you to discover. This is what was being held back from you. The tears of your childhood, the rejections, the betrayals. It all began with hidden envy, and now justice is speaking. God does not forget. Heaven does not sleep. This message is for you. You are not crazy for sensing that something was amiss. You are not overreacting by feeling that things were always slightly off. You were right. If you believe in God, type Amen. There has been a theft, but not the kind with broken locks or shattered glass. No, this was quieter, more deceptive. Someone you trusted, someone close in blood and bond. In memory, they interfered. They didn't wear the face of your enemy. They wore the mask of familiarity. They moved with you, but not for you. They watched your prayers rise like incense, yet their own heart festered with jealousy. They clapped when you succeeded, but the echo in their soul was envy, not joy. They smiled when you shared your dreams, but behind closed doors, they whispered your name into shadows. You've been asking why doors never open. Why every breakthrough slips like sand from your fingers. Why people forget your name the moment your back turns. It's not you. It never was. A spiritual hijack occurred. Your blessings were detoured, intercepted, and spiritually detained by someone who feared your rise. But heaven saw it. Every hidden conversation, every document diverted, every opportunity rerouted. What they buried was not just money, it was momentum. It was the fire of your purpose. But child, that fire was never extinguished. It was only hidden, and now the wind of justice is blowing. You cried in silence, thinking heaven was ignoring you. But the silence was strategic. The delay was divine investigation. The silence wasn't absence. It was gathering evidence. The courtroom of glory has heard your petitions, and the gavel has struck. Listen closely. The accounts they tampered with are being reopened. The phone calls they redirected are returning. The doors they closed behind your back are unlocking on their own. You will begin to receive back what was taken, not as repayment, but as divine justice. You were never meant to struggle the way you have. The seasons of barely surviving were not divine lessons. They were the result of spiritual obstruction. But now, even the atmosphere is shifting. Angels have been dispatched. They are walking into financial systems, unlocking ledgers, touching the hearts of decision makers, reversing errors, righting wrongs. You're not losing your mind. You were being spiritually attacked. That unease you felt, that heaviness with no name, it was real. You were carrying weight that was not yours. You were carrying betrayal dressed as family, envy clothed in concern. But now the disguises are coming off. You'll notice people begin to withdraw. Don't panic. It's divine filtration. You're not being abandoned. You're being refined. Those who tampered with what was sacred in your life are being removed. Their access is being revoked. Heaven is stripping their influence. They laughed when you couldn't pay your bills. They smiled when you had to sell things to survive. They celebrated in secret when your plans crumbled. But now they will watch, not in control, but in awe, as you rise. This isn't just restoration. This is sacred compensation. The years that were devoured, the joy that was stolen, the dignity that was crushed. It's all returning. But more than that, your name is being rewritten in heavenly scrolls, no longer associated with struggle, no longer tied to failure. You are being renamed favored, chosen, trusted. You didn't lose anything. It was temporarily detained. And now heaven has called for its release. You will receive news soon. A transaction will shift. A door will creak open with such divine timing you'll feel your soul tremble. That is confirmation. That is the divine receipt. My child, don't shrink back. Don't apologize for the blessing that is about to overtake you. It was always yours. The enemy only delayed it, but they could not deny it. You are entering a season of abundance, not as a reward, but as a reminder. A reminder that your suffering was not ignored. You are not broke. You were spiritually ambushed, but your comeback has been handwritten in gold. The heavens have summoned your name, not to scold, but to restore. Not to punish, but to promote. Someone within your own circle tampered with your wealth, hoping it would destroy your worth. They meddled with your inheritance because they feared your glow. But their fear has become their undoing, because heaven will not be mocked. This message is not metaphor. It's a spiritual command. You are being summoned into restitution, not just financially, but emotionally, mentally, generationally. That business idea you buried, dust it off. That dream you were afraid to revisit, look at it again. That prayer you whispered through tears, it has already reached heaven, and heaven is responding, not just with words, but with waves. Waves of change, waves of supply, waves of honor. You are not broke. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are being restored. You are being prepared for public favor after private pain. You have suffered in shadows, but you will shine in the light. And every single soul that doubted you, even the ones who plotted against you, will stand in silent awe. This is the season of the great return. Your blessings were never lost, just delayed. And now they are thundering back into your life with divine speed and undeniable power. Your inheritance was never destroyed. It was only hidden. But now it is being found. Your name is being honored. Your season is being rewritten. Your money is being returned. Your dignity is being restored. And your enemies, silent.